Ches Amud Aleph. We'll begin Chav Ches Amud Beis, 2 lines from the bottom of the 2 dots. Continue on with the halachas and the nature of Shmoneh Esrei. Tan Rabbanan Shimon Abakuli is their Yud Ches Brachos Lefnei Rabban Gamliel Ala Seder B'Yavna. He is the one that was Masechet to establish the Shmoneh Esrei, the Nusach Shmoneh Esrei, the 18 brachos in front of Rabban Gamliel in Yavna. Now initially, like we mentioned previously, there was only 18 brachas. They added a 19th bracha because of the tzedukim, the bracha of the malshinim. They were experiencing much tsar from the tzedukim, that they were trying to be machshel them and cause them much suffering. They now added another bracha, keneged the tzedukim, that the Rebbeinu Shalom should punish them and protect us. So who's the one who now established that bracha? So he asked, who's the one who is such a tzaddik and such a high madrega that is roy, that is fitting to establish this bracha? Shmuel Kotan was the one who was Masechet. A year later, he forgot it. He forgot the bracha. And as many of the Forshim point out, in those days, Torah Baal Peh was not written down, and even tefillahs were not written down. People said that tefillah is Baal Peh. And therefore, it was easily forgotten. Someone say that this additional bracha originally was not said by the tzibur, right? Everybody. It was not said individually. It was only the shliach tzibur who said this bracha. So therefore, we can understand why he forgot it, because it was not something that was regularly said. It was said by the shliach tzibur, only by shliach tzibur. And if he wasn't the shliach tzibur frequently during the course of the year, one can understand how he forgot it. So the the following year, Lashana Cheres Shach, he forgot the brach. V'hishkav, now he was the shliach tzibur, he was standing in the middle of Shmones, v'hishkav v'ashtayim v'shaloshoyes v'layalu, and he was struggling to try to remember it, and it was for a long period of time, but they didn't remove him from being the shliach tzibur. Why didn't they remove him? If a person, shaliach tzibur, the chazan, made a mistake in any of the brachas, we don't remove him for that. However, but in this bracha of the tzedukim malshin, we do remove him. Why? Because chashin and shemaminu, because we are chayshish that maybe he really, in fact, is a min. And therefore, that's why he's not saying the bracha, or not saying it properly, because he doesn't want to say a bracha that is against the malshinim, because he himself is perhaps a min. So why didn't they remove him? Why aren't we chayshish for that? We're not chayshish in this case, because he is the one that was Masechet, and he established it. So we're not chayshish that he was the one who's a min. He established the bracha. Maybe, why wouldn't we chayshish that he was chayzer? That originally he was a tzaddik, but perhaps he went bad. We have a kabbalah that someone's good doesn't become bad. What do you mean? It says clearly that the tzaddik, we're talking about a tzaddik who now goes off the proper way, and he does evil. More answers, he was really never a tzaddik to begin with. How about tzaddik mikora? Someone who's really a tzaddik to begin with, he will not go off. He won't. Don't believe in yourself. Don't have full confidence in yourself and feel secure that you won't do averas until your last day. Because we see who was the Kohen Gadol. He was a Kohen Gadol for 80 years. And at the end of his life, he became a tzduki. So you can never be sure, a person can never be sure that even until the end of his life, that he won't go off. You see that Yochanan Kohen Gadol, he was Kohen Gadol 80 years, and he turned bad at the end of his life. No, he was never really a tzaddik. Amar Abaya, who Yanai, who Yochanan. He was Yochanan, but he was really the Yanai the Roshim. So he really was a Roshim. But Rav Amar Yanai L'chud v'Yochanan. No, he said they're two separate people. Yanai Roshim Mekar. Yochanan Tzadik Mekar, but Yochanan was a Tzadik Mekar. So Hanichala Abaya, we can understand according to Abaya, it's not difficult because he was never really a Tzadik, so he turned bad. But someone who was really a Tzadik, we don't have to worry that he's going to turn bad. But El Kashi, you see here clearly that even though he was Yochanan, he was a Tzadik, and at the end of his life, he turned bad. So why did they not remove Shmuel HaKatan? Why didn't they remove him? If he was not able to say the bracha of the Malshinim, why shouldn't we be choishish and suspect that perhaps he's really a min? Amar lach Rava Tzadik Mikora Nami Dela Harbe Enachanami at Tzadik Mikora. Really, we have to be concerned. Maybe he goes off. So why didn't they remove Shmuel HaKatan? Shiny Shmuel HaKatan the Aschel Ba. Because he already started the bracha. Where we have to be concerned is if the Chazan, the Shliach Tzibur, does not begin the bracha of the Malshin. He skips over it, or he doesn't refuse to say it. But here, Shmuel HaKatan already started the bracha. So he started the bracha and then got stuck. Where do we have to be concerned? And we remove the Chazan if he didn't start the bracha of Malshinim. But if he started it, then we allow him to finish it. In that case, we're not concerned that he's a min. So we learned previously the 18 brachas that are corresponding to the Shem Hashem or the Chulios, etc. The different sheets is what the 18 is corresponding to. Hani Shevet the Shabbat Keneged Miyad Shabbos. We have seven brachas. That's corresponding to what? Amrav Chalafta Ben Shol Keneged Shiva Koila Shama Dovid Alamai. In the Mizmor, the Dovid, it says 7 koilos that were mentioned Alamayim. Now, that's a Mizmor, that's Mizmor Kol Hashem Alamayim, that also relates to kolos of Matan Torah. And as Taisa Rosh points out, that Shabbos, when Torah was given on Shabbos, so the koilos, the 7 koilos that is mentioned is appropriate time to, on Shabbos, to have 7 brachas, which is the Zman of Matan Torah. Frank the Gemara, Tisha the Rosh Hashanah Keneged me. On Rosh Hashanah we have 9 brachas. What is that corresponding to? Amrav Yitzodim the Kartik then Keneged Tisha Azkaras Sham Rachana B'Tfilah also. That's Keneged the 9 Shem Hashem that Chana said in her tefillah to Hashem. The Amar Marva Rosh Hashanah Nifkid Asar Rachel V'Chana. She was answered on Rosh Hashanah. She mentioned the Shem Hashem 9 times in her tefillah. And therefore, it's appropriate that in Rosh Hashanah, when we want our tefillahs to be answered, we also mention 9 brachas on Rosh Hashanah. The 24 brachas that we say on the Tanis, when there were no rains, they were geyser special Tanis, and they had a special brachas, and the Shemona Esrei were 24 brachas. Who is that, and what is that corresponding to? When Shlomo Melech wanted to bring the Arna Kodesh to the Kodesh Kadoshim, when they had the Chanukah Sabayis of the Beis HaMikdash, the gates were locked, and he couldn't bring it in. So he had 24 tefillahs, 24 songs and tefillahs, and beseeching the Rebbeinu Shalom, and then he was answered. So corresponding to that, when we beseech Hashem, we want rains, we say 24 brachas. Why don't we say it every day, 24 brachas? Shlomo Melech said it in a day that he needs special rachme, when he wanted to bring the Aron into the Kodesh Kadoshim. We also say in a day that we need special rachmim, a day of Tanis, but not on a regular day. Rabbi Yeshua says a person does not say the full Shemona Esrei every day. He says Me'ein Shemona Esrei. My Me'ein Shemona Esrei. What does that mean? Me'ein Shemona Esrei. Rav Amar Me'ein called bracha o bracha. He says we say the first 3 brachas completely, the last 3 completely. The 13 middle ones we say Me'ein. We say the Psicha and the Chasimah, but the middle section we omit. So, for instance, Ata Chayne Ladam Das, Baruch Ato Hashem Chayne Das, and so too for each bracha. Shmuel Amar, he says no. We say the first 3, the last three, and we say one bracha in the middle, which incorporates all of the 13 brachas, but it's only one bracha. So we say, Havineinu Hashem Elokeinu ladas darachech. So ladas. So it starts off on mentioning of the first of the bracha atachayne, and so too it continues with each of the brachas. Ummo leslavenu lerasech v'sislach lanu slach lanu sislach lanu liyezgula rachakein mechavein, and gives us refuah. V'dashneinu b'naisar tsecha. So give us parnasa baruch aleinu. And if it's saying me'arba tikvas, gather us up. And those who mistake in judgment, they should learn to come to judge according to your das, according to your will. Ashiv Shavtenu. Valar Tanef Yadech, Viesmut Sadikim, or Sadikim, Vibinyan Irech, Yishlam, Tikun Echalech, Smichas Karen, the Dovid Avdecha, Verichas Ner, Leven Yishem Yishechecha. Then the dance term Nikra. That's Makalenu, Baruch Atah Hashem, Shemea Tefillah. Before we even call you, you should answer us, Shemea Tefillah. So this is the one bracha that incorporates all of the brachas. Abaya was upset, and he protested against the ones who said Havinein. He said it should not be said. It should not be said because you're only saying one bracha in place of the 13, so you're missing out 12 brachas. Therefore, it should not be said. As Taisus points out, that's only in normal times, but b'shas atchak, traveling on the derech, then even according to Abaye, it could be said. He says during the course of the year, normally you could say Havineinu. Because you have to say Atachaynon Tanu, and therefore you have to say Atachaynon Tanu, and therefore you will not be able to say it you'll be missing it out, and you won't be able to say it. What is the problem? Even though Havineinu does not incorporate Atachaynon Tanu, say a separate bracha. Say a separate bracha for Havdalah. Rabbi Kiva says, in any event, he says that's the way it should be done. He says it should not be incorporated into Atachaynon. In any event, it should be said as a separate bracha. So therefore, why isn't it on Motzei Shabbos, Yontif, say a separate bracha for Atachaynon Tanu? Rabbi Lazar Amar Boido, he agrees also that it should be said as a separate bracha. He says it should not be in the place of bracha Revius, it should not be right after Alta Kodesh, but he says it should be in Haidah, within the bracha of Haidah, Maidim, but he also agrees that it's a separate bracha. So what's the problem? Why over here do we say that you cannot say Havineinu, and say Atachaynon Tanu with a separate bracha? The Gemara says that no, but we don't paskin like Rabbi Kiva the whole year. We don't follow Rabbi Kiva the whole year, and to say that we say the bracha Atachaynon in a separate bracha. So Motzei Shabbos, Motzei Yontif, we should also not say it, and therefore we don't have this eitzah. Why don't we pass on Rabbi Kiva the whole year and say Atachaynon separate bracha? Because the Chum sang Shemona Esrei brachos, 18 brachos, not 19. We don't add on an extra bracha. Chanami and Motzei Shabbos and Motzei Yontif Sheva Tikkun Tamid Lo Tikkun. So therefore, that's not an eitzah. But, however, Maskala Marzutra, why is it a problem? Why can't we say Havineinu? If we say Havineinu the whole year, just because we have to say Havdalah Atachaynon Tanu, why is that a problem? Maskala Marzutra, let us incorporate Atachaynon Tanu in the Havineinu, just like we incorporate all of the brachas, and say this Nusach of Havdalah within the Havineinu. Kasha, it's like a kasha. Amar Avivi Barabayim. He says you could say Havineinu there. We do say Havineinu, except in the winter time, because we have to say Misayin Talam Mater, and therefore we have to say a separate Birchas Hashanim to ask for the rain, Saint Talam Mater, therefore we can't say Havineinu. Why don't we again incorporate it within Havineinu? In that section of Avinenu where we mentioned the saying, when we mentioned Borech Aleinu, incorporate that with a bakasha for rain. Your answer is also not true. No, he might get confused. Sometimes you say it, sometimes you don't. He might get confused. Well, why did you have a kasha by why we can't incorporate atachanatanu within Avinenu? You said that's a kasha. You should be able to. Why don't you have the same problem over there? Also, you might get confused. Gemara answers, no, over there, since it's at the beginning of the bracha, we're not so concerned that it'll get confused. The person at the beginning of the bracha is more focused. But over here, but over here it comes in the middle, we're afraid that he'll be confused, and therefore we say it should not be said in that manner. Well, why don't we incorporate it in Shemei Tefillah? If a person forgot Mashiv Haruach, he did not say it in Brachot Machzir, so he has to repeat the Shemona Esrei. But we're saying Talamatar, if he forgot it in the Bracha Baruch Aleinu, he does not have to repeat the Shemona Esrei. Why? Because he could say it in Shemei Tefillah, and here also he has an alternative. If he forgets he has a fallback. He can say Havdalah Kais, so he doesn't have to repeat the Shemona Esrei. So why over here do we say that he can't say Havinenu? Why isn't he maskir it? Maskir Atachanatan in Shemei Tefillah? Our answer is Tov Shani. If he makes a mistake, that's different. If he forgot to say it, you can say it in Shemei Tefillah. But lechatchila, to be masakin it, that it should be said in Shemei Tefillah, we don't do. B'di Evid, if you got to say it, you have an eitzah to make an haskar in Shemei Tefillah. But it really has to have lechatchila its own haskar. Therefore, we're not masakin it in a way that his alternative is only to say it in Shemei Tefillah. Therefore, he says, rather on those times we do not say Havinenu.